Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Wisconsin. I'm Molly Brauer. Justin has your forecast in just a minute. Testimony continues in the trial of a Wausau man facing murder charges. James Emerson is accused in the 1999 beating death of Rhonda Mertes. The lead investigator told jurors how police preserved the crime scene and the victim's body. He says brown paper bags were used on her hands so potential evidence wouldn't be lost. A state crime lab investigator also talked about DNA that was found under the victim's fingernails. Prosecutors claim it belongs to Emerson, but his attorney says it may have been tainted by the time crime lab investigators looked at it. First tonight on Fox. Election Day is just around the corner and efforts are underway to make sure students are ready to vote. Good evening, I'm Molly Brauer. Thanks for joining us here for Fox 55 at 9. College students across the nation are gearing up for what some have called the most important election for youth. UW-Stevens Point is no different. Fox 55's Teresa Mackin checked out the last-minute voter push on that campus and has that story. David Berna always wanted to make an impact in the Wausau community but never acted on it, until now. Along with the employees at Domtar and Rothschild, David donated over a ton, that's 2,000 pounds of food to the neighbor's place. David is hoping that he'll set an example for other business owners and challenge them to do the same.
We raised a ton of food in 3 weeks with 400 people. I don't see why other local businesses couldn't try to, go ahead, try to outdo us. Try to raise 2 tons in 4 weeks if you have to.
This box that I'm standing next to weighs almost 750 pounds, but it's just 1/3 of the donation that was made to the neighbor's place. Even though a ton of food is pretty overwhelming to look at, it's not going to last as long as you would think.
I really wanted to do something that made a huge impact if I was going to do something, and a ton of food, it is a lot of food if you look at it. But in reality, in talking with Tom here, that ton of food is only going to last about 3 weeks.
Directors at the neighbor's place say that such a large donation doesn't come along often, but with so many people in our area in need, it couldn't have come at a better time.
It's always a quiet time for us. People give a lot during the holidays, and then January and February, I think they're just trying to recover, catch their breath.
David was inspired to donate a ton of food from being in the paper business because everything is measured in tons. He says it just takes a lot of people who can do a little bit to make a big difference in a community. With the coverage you can count on, Molly Brauer, Newsline 9, Wausau.
Still on the ground.
Last December, a driver along Highway 55 saw an eagle lying on the side of the road. He called the DNR for help, and the bird was brought to the Raptor Education Center. It's a full circle moment today because no one thought the eagle was going to make it. But the man who found him lying sick and unable to fly is watching him soar into the wild. When Clarence Daniels saw the bald eagle, he knew something wasn't right. It turned out the bird had lead poisoning. And after 4 months of rehabilitation at the Raptor Center, the bird is healthy and strong. Now the Potawatomi tribe members are sending him off with a ceremony. Group educators say lead poisoning is a growing problem with all kinds of birds, so they're asking people to switch to lead-free alternatives when hunting or fishing. With the coverage you can count on, Molly Brauer, Newsline 9.